Think. Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. I'm not. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of crime? I don't know. What, are we saying he did it? Why would we know that? Why would we know that? Or why would we guess that? What? Why would he move it? Why would we know that? And why would we guess that? And why would he do it? The one who moved the statue is none other than look at me. Come now, sir lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where our battle really begins. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the hell's going on. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me, you pretended to be Master Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lord Lee Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like a cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw. Interesting theory, please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? I have no idea. I have no idea. If the statue was there, it would expose your fatal flaw? I honestly have no idea what the game is trying to get at. Now, do we talk about the box? The lie is Master Mask. Are you saying that this Master Mask is a fake? Yeah, but how do you know? Ha! You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Yeah, me too. Huh? The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? Yeah, I don't know either. So what possible connection could there be with Master Mask's identity? Your face has old buggers written all over it. That's a penalty for you. What? I don't know what the game is doing. None of this makes any sense, and the game doesn't let me question all the things that don't make sense. Like, why the hell is there no paint on the box? If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap food at a drugstore. A single fatal flaw. Are we talking about the shape of the paint? I mean, there's the shape of the paint, there's the missing brooch. But wait, if the statue was there, it would expose the flaw? Why would the statue being there expose the flaw? Imagine if there's a giant Amy statue there. Why would that be a problem? There's the bent sword. Or is it that the door is closed? The door's closed? Is that the problem? No, but why would that be a problem if the statue was there? The camera takes a photo whenever it detects somebody. So it's detecting him coming out, it's not detecting him going in. If the statue was there, why would that be a problem that the door is closed? I have no idea what the game wants from me. I honestly have no idea what the game wants from me. I don't know. I don't know why the golden statue was moved. The time. No, that can't be right either. No, I didn't. I want to look at my other evidence. Is his hat on the right way? Or is that crazy? No, his hat is on the right way. It's the time. If this was not taken on the day of the crime, then he would have to recreate the crime scene to look like when he took the photo. But how would you know? How would you know? Look, here's the thing. We have a printout of all the times when the camera activated. And that printout doesn't say anything about this. And I mean, the worst part is there are a lot of other suspicious things that the game just completely ignores. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Look At Me went to KP Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious it would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. No, but look, you're jumping to conclusions. You are post-rationalizing. You are taking the conclusion you want, which is that he's not actually there in the photo, and you assuming that is the conclusion. Then how do you make that conclusion make sense? The only way you can do that is if you say that the photo was not taken at that time. So you're post-rationalizing to justify your prejudice. You're not actually you're not going from evidence to conclusion. You are going from conclusion to your interpretation of the evidence, which is a backwards way of logic. It's a logic fallacy. It's not actually good logic. This is not good at all. This is awful, actually. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor, when was this statue placed besides the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. Yeah, this is bad logic. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Look At Me had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. Yeah, but there's no evidence for that. There's no evidence for that. It's just the only thing that can lead to the conclusion you want to draw. Which is not good. It's not good logic. What the? This is so stupid. Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Ah! So on the day of the crime, Mr. At Me must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. That doesn't make any sense either. Why would the cat be in a rocking chair factory? Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Look At Me had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Wow. It's awful. Mr. At Me, is this true? There's no evidence for it. One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What is that? Yeah, exactly. I didn't forget that. I looked at that, and that's why I thought it couldn't be right. The data for the basement warehouse computer. See, look, camera data. There's a lot of camera data in the picture there. It only says it went off once at around 1 AM on the night of the crime. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with data. Again, do you have any evidence that he tampered with data? No, you don't have any evidence of that. It's just the only thing that would lead to the conclusion you like. Ah! Yeah, no, that's awful. Man, if I get a guilty verdict because this is the like if I was if I was being accused of a crime and this is what they used to prosecute me, I'd be so mad. Order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Yeah, he's gonna say it, there's no evidence for it. Godot, I warned you about making me wait, now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good to the last drop. However, the defense is a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea, however, there's one point that can't be denied, which is that is only a possibility. Yeah, exactly, Godot. That's what I said. That's what I said. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. What? What does that mean? That's very true. What? No way, don't forward that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony. What? Testimony of what? He didn't ask anything. This is so bad. Unbelievable bad. Of course that wasn't the right answer. Of course that wasn't enough to convict him. Why did the game make me do that? Do something that was obviously not enough. About your plan to steal the sacred urn. And then we just move on? We just ignore all the ginormous holes in logic and we just move on? Unbelievable. I first received the request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago, my bad. The urn was placed in a box and Svari, it was then sent to the warehouse. Hence I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. Yeah, okay, no, now we question the urn and the paint speckles. That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness! You're sure there are no mistakes this time? There were no mistakes last time either. Svari! What does Svari mean? Hold on, let me like type that into Google Translate. Google Translate. Svari drag? What's the language? Albanian. It's Albanian for drag? Drag, procrastinate, lug, haul, draw. Procrastinate? That's what Svari means? It's Albanian for procrastinate? Okay. I first received the request from Lord Taylor about 20 days ago. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right? Indeed, it seemed that they had heard of my Svara King reputation. It's a lot funnier now, actually. I see, Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. She is. You better watch out too, Maya. The urn was placed in a box and Svari, it was then sent to the warehouse. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn. And she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh, interesting new tidbit. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed, you may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the warehouse to that on the entrance to that warehouse. However, I look at me, let no information whatever slip through my fingers. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. It's not valuable. You mean this calling card? That's right, that is without a doubt my calling card. I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. Then no one entered the basement warehouse. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. At last I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed, to be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey Nick, if this photo was a fake, Detective Atlee might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap up and put a bow on it. I need to take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? That detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before he started. For some reason, now they give you so many clues. I already know what the answer is. In the note, it says the speckled urn. How would he know the urn is speckled if he hasn't seen it before? We need to prove that he's lying. Like, for this easier one, they give you a lot of clues. For the other one, that makes absolutely no sense. They just give you nothing. They give you no clues. And expect you to find something that actually doesn't make any sense and doesn't prove anything. What? So I think... So one thing is the fact that this says speckled urn. The other thing is that the box in the photo doesn't have paint on it. Also, he couldn't have known it was a speckled urn because the photo for the urn is this, which is not speckled. In fact, it's kind of like broken and badly repaired. I'm gonna do this here. Mr. Atlee, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled urn here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true. But so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. I mean, no one is that spastic. There's no way anyone is that spastic, by the way. You drop the box, and then you drop the pieces onto the paint? Arg, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atlee had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. because this photo is a fake. Your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Wait, hold on. How do you know he saw it when he took the fake picture? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. How do you know he saw the urn when he took the fake picture? We still haven't proved that the picture was taken at a fake time. Come on, man. Come on. There's giant holes in the logic. And by the way, I was solving the second puzzle during the first puzzle because the first puzzle doesn't make any sense. But I had figured out what the second puzzle was gonna be during the first puzzle. Quack, quack, quack. This is just what a disaster. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Grr. Alright, that did it. He's broken. It's so bad. It doesn't make any sense. Nick, I think it's still a little early for victory pose. It's a little early for everything. Huh? Ah! It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we are being a tad fickle? That's a good point. That's not a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Look at Me was the one who killed Cain Bullard. Then let me ask you this, why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might my merry murderous motive manifest? Nick, he's getting his second wind. If he's prepared an alibi and pinned this crime on Ron Delight as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'll be honored to, Sir Oldtimer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Despite our lack of hard information. Oh boy. Motive for murder. I, Look at Me, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Cain Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. Nani? Blackmail letter updated in the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. Look at Me had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. And who in the world is going to prove that? I will. After doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and Cain Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security. Nope. That was blunt. In any case, The only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. Mistook? That's right, mistook, from the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take an error. That wasn't what I meant. Just who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be? Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off that guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Mask? Don't you already know that? Zvari, take a look at this newspaper. Oh ho, that's the famous tear of Imanon, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant? The victim clearly misread this article, and Zvari, he got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Mask. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says bring $50,000. And the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's. There's no mistake, we have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere. An addressee? This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. And Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant. No. It's not irrelevant. The letter could have been sent to Luke, and then Luke sent it to Ron to make Ron go to the CEO's office. I wonder... What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Whoa! Do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter.